Right.
Hey, what do you say? It's the Run-In Podcast. DJ is still alive and well. I assume you're well.
Oh yeah. Oh
All
yeah.
right.
It is definitely showtime, and I'm here. I'm here in LA. Actually, I'm visiting the family.
Nice.
So if I sound different, especially if you watch this on YouTube, it's going to look different.
Yeah, you're very dark, and I don't mean your skin. I just mean the lighting.
No, yeah, and I tried to get a light, but it's I'm just making do here.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's a little bit better.
You look
But yeah,
great.
but yeah, no, everything's fine. You find out who your friends are, by the way. I listened to that episode and people divvying up my stuff.
We're just trying to look out for you. We're just trying to look out for you if you got murdered.
Yeah.
But,
look out for my stuff is what you guys were looking out for.
My name is Tommy Paradise, by the way. This is the Run-In Podcast. The Run-In Podcast is brought to you by Figure Collections and figurecollections.com. Don't forget to check out the complete history of Bone Crunching Action Figures. Part 3 is up on their YouTube. When you're doing your Black Friday shopping, make sure you hit up figurecollections.com/shop or figurecollections.com/store. The shop brings you to get all those Cello retros. The store will bring you to his eBay store and lots of good stuff on there. And you can use the code RUN10 to save 10% at checkout over there. You have a good little break, DJ? You have a good little vacation? The boys did good filling in for you.
They did. I thank you guys. I think you guys were great. And yeah, I got a little rest. Some of it was not so restful, but that's okay.
giggity.
But yeah, so that was, and working in person this year has been something else too. So I did need like a little bit of a mental mental break. But yeah, no, I'm good to go. Everything's fine.
Good. No murder. You're still here.
No murder.
No yellow IC title for Mike Lanham.
No, he's gonna have to. I think they're on sale.
That's right. He's gonna have to hit up that Black Friday sale. Speaking of Black Friday, actually, before we get into Black Friday, let's talk about Blitzkrieg Pro. It's coming up. It's creeping on us. December 4th, Old Country Banquet Hall in Enfield, Connecticut. December 4th. Tickets are still on sale. Nice. Over at blitzkriegpro.net. I will be there. I will have little Logan Paradise with me. Yes. We will be hanging out. I know I got a good amount of friends that are going to be going to the show. So please come hang out and enjoy some badass independent wrestling. Dan Housen will be there doing a meet and greet. Max Caster will be there. Rachel Ellering will be there. Smart Mark Sterling, Max Caster. I don't know if I already said that. I think I did.
You did. But
we also
what he's got to say when he on his entrance.
Yeah, absolutely. We've also got Matt Rewalt coming, formerly known as Aiden English. Going to be a hell of a show. And if you bring a toy, you'll get a free autographed 8x10 from Max Caster. So, I'm going to get one. I'm going to definitely bring a toy. I'm all about toy drives. We'll get to that in a second here, but I'm going to get one and we'll give it away on the show for somebody for listening, or like tonight, we're giving away a Penta autographed 8x10 for submitting a question to our Q&A that we're going to be doing. That's another thing I wanted to mention this episode, because it is Thanksgiving week. It'll be a little bit different. We'll run through Survivor Series, but we're not going to really run into any other wrestling news or anything like that. We'll let the week do its thing, and then we'll jump back into the world of wrestling next week. But we threw some questions out there, or actually we asked you to ask us some questions out there on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. So we're going to fire away on those. Always fun to do a Q&A episode. But speaking of Black Friday, guys, remember you want to head over to prowrestlingtees.com/runinpod. If you're listening to the show right now, hit pause. Go to prowrestlingtees.com/runinpod and check out our brand new store. Well, not brand new store, but we've got brand new stuff up on the store, including hoodies, some new t-shirts, There might be a brand new T-shirt that actually isn't in our little graphic ad. That should be. I uploaded it today. We're recording this on Tuesday. Full disclosure. I uploaded it today, so I'm hoping it'll be there by the end of the week. The holiday, you never know. But we got 2 hoodies. We got the It's Showtime, folks. Hey, what do you say? We got the arcade shirts, a couple of new shirts up there. The Celtics, Lakers, Ninja Turtles, Raw is War, and G.I. Joe logos, and the OG logo as well. So a lot of good stuff up there at prowrestlingtees.com/runinpod. And you get 20% off this week. No code needed or anything like that. And they've got a bunch of other sales going on over there as well. I know DVDs are like 50% off.
Nice.
All kinds of stuff on sale. So the AEW store is on sale as well. So all kinds of stuff for you guys to grab over there. We are doing a toy drive with the Fig Cave. You can get all the information over there at thefigcave.com. I made my first donation to the Fig Cave toy drive.
All right.
I won.
I'm about to say, because you're
I won the 3 figures that Phil Gentile
name came up. I saw that.
I won the 3 figures that Phil Gentile was giving away for donating to Mike Lanham's charity game stream. And I said, you know what? I have one of those already. Throw it in the toy drive and then send me the other 2. So I won an Aleister Black and the LJN style Cody. And I told him to put the the Colonel Mustafa into the pile for the toy drive. So I'm going to send some more stuff over to him as well. And then it is the season of giving. So we are teaming up with the Game Marks podcast, and they are doing a nice little charity shindig for St. Jude. It's Game Boree. It's still going on. It'll launch November 1st. It goes all the way to January 1st. Their last goal that they posted was, they said they surpassed their goal or what they made from last year, but I'm trying to find, they're at 1,000. Let's see, where is it? I just had it. $1,055. So let's make that go up a little bit more. You can go to gamemarkspod.com/donate. We made a donation as a podcast, but I'm going to personally make a donation out there as well. And it doesn't have to be a lot of money. Just give them something. There's a lot of people here hurting this time of year. So try to make it a little bit better.
Yeah. St. Jude is a wonderful place. I've seen many a story come out of St. Jude, and no, they deserve this kind of attention and donation this time of year.
Yep.
Come on with $2, $5. It doesn't, anything
exactly.
helps.
Exactly. And you'll get entered to get something out of it as well. We do have a watch along on our stream. It is the 1991 Survivor Series. Make sure you take that in. And then you can get everything that you need from us over at runinpod.com. That's got all our social media, all our discount codes, all that good stuff. It's over there at runinpod.com, our website. You can get your episodes up there. Some changes coming to the website. We talked about a big announcement coming at the first of the year, maybe a little bit before the first of the year, once we get it all lined up and ready to go. I'm putting the final touches on some stuff. And other than that, man, no Kenny's corrections this week because Kenny was obviously on the show last week. So
that's right. Yeah.
Charles
maybe
Andrew
maybe I should have listened a couple more times and gave corrections.
Charles Andrew, who is like the Wish version of Kenny, was trying to he was messaging me and he's like, hey man, what if I correct Kenny? What if I find something Kenny's wrong about? And I'm like, go for it, man. If you can find something, good luck. Kenny's pretty good. And he didn't come back with anything. He said, man, I couldn't come up with anything. So,
and folks, I know, and then we're releasing this on Friday, right? So if you're out here, we're hoping that we're part of your Black Friday run here. Be careful and be good to the workers. Like I've worked for Black Friday before, and it cannot be fun. So, be cool.
And if there is a fight or something, make sure you record it on your video. Make sure you record it horizontal, not vertical.
Right.
And try to keep your hands steady. Nobody likes to watch a shaky video.
And give your best Excalibur and Tony Schiavone going.
That's right. Do your best work here. Help out the people. Yes. What you drinking tonight? We are over there in your family's house. You're around family. You got to be drinking. What are you drinking?
Margaritas tonight.
Oh, you fancy.
Yeah,
fancy. Fancy. I just got water. I just got done playing a hockey game, so I already had an energy drink before the game. So I've just got water here. That's right. We are recording on a Tuesday night. It is 11:32 p.m. Tuesday night. I just played a hockey game, a big 8-2 win. In goal, played some pretty good goal, even though I gave up 2 goals.
Empire team of the league.
Oh man, they're not necessarily the evil empire. They are just a bunch of whiny little bitches. I'll say it. They're just they complain about everything and they suck. They're just not good. And so we had to put a shellacking on them. We had to show them what's up. So I'm ready to get into it though. You ready to talk some Survivor Series?
Let's do it.
All right, DJ. It's an abbreviated version of In the Ring this week. It is brought to you by Buy, Sell, Trade Toys. I'm sure he will have some stuff going down for Black Friday. It's at Buy, Sell, Trade Toys on Instagram. You can use the code RUN10 for 10% off your order. And that goes for anything he's posted on Instagram as well. You can just slide into his DMs with that RUN10 code and get 10% off. I know he's got the new Ultimates. He's got the JYD DJ that you've been wanting. He's got all kinds of stuff up on his Instagram right now. So get on.
Yeah, he does.
Did you get a chance? You got a chance to take in Survivor Series, correct?
I did.
All right. What'd you think?
Every moment of it.
All right. What'd you think overall, man?
You know, it was kind of like you know how we say WWE when you don't expect, like, you know, when you go into the
with zero expectations.
And then you end up having fun. I had fun with this pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't, for as much as I bashed it, like leading up to it on our show.
As did I. Yeah, as did I.
I really did enjoy it. And I don't know. I went to SmackDown on Friday night with my son. I don't know if it's because I went to SmackDown on Friday night, at which we had a great time at SmackDown. But I will say this has nothing to do with Survivor Series, but I much rather would go to a house show. I know I've said that a few times.
Yeah.
I would much rather go to the house show than
the commercial thing, really.
The commercials and just the promos. Didn't even get to see Toni Storm in person, man. Got to see her pre-recorded. Didn't even get to see her in person. But that's all right. But we still had a blast.
Right.
Anyway. Yeah, even after SmackDown, though, I was like, man, that was kind of a weak, like, go-home show. I was expecting more. But then when it came to the actual pay-per-view, man, I enjoyed almost every single match. Let me just say one more thing about SmackDown real quick here.
Sure.
If you go to SmackDown, I put it on our Instagram. One of the highlights of SmackDown and being in the crowd instead of watching on TV is Pat McAfee. I've done like a complete 180 on him.
Yes,
hated him so much when he debuted. Right. And now, man, he is a riot. He is a national treasure. He was a lot of fun to watch. Not just for Shinsuke's intro, but just
he's really gets into it.
Yeah, he's like a fan watching, and it's like refreshing. It's awesome.
Yes,
really good stuff.
He's a real that was one of the really great ideas that WWE's had this year,
and they're just letting him roll with it. I think that's the best part.
Oh, let him, let him go. He doesn't need all that. Just let him go.
What'd you think of Big E's Seinfeld gear?
I was like, wait, that looks really familiar. You know, I'm like looking at because I know with their gear you have to really pay attention because they, you know, and then it hit me. I was like, you know, the baseline hit me when I got what the font was, and I was like, oh wait, you know, it was some fun stuff.
I love that he had Spongeworthy on it. Like that's coming fresh from just watching the whole series on Netflix recently.
Okay.
That popped me. The whole thing popped me as a huge Seinfeld fan. I thought that was awesome. But overall, yeah, I thought the pay-per-view, man, was good. I don't really have any complaints about, you know, the way things went down. I think Big E looked really good in the main event, even though Roman Reigns won.
All right.
I thought the hell was the pre-match or pre-show match?
The Intercontinental US title.
Yes, I thought that was really good. Charlotte and Becky, I thought this is where I thought for like what they were So my initial reaction when Becky held the rope to win, my initial reaction was like, oh, that's kind of like a cheap way to end this whole thing. But at the same time, I was like, well, you know, I don't know how else you would have.
Well, that's how the storytelling goes with their matches. Like that's
Right.
how all of their all of their one-on-one matches end with something cheap. Like
Yep.
something cheap happens for the win.
Yeah, it was
Because
just
they know each other so well. Like every
right.
time they were going for one of their big moves, counter. So yeah, like
Yeah,
you
I was
said,
just trying
how
to
else do
figure
you end
out.
it?
I was like, how? Yeah, exactly. It's like I always say on here, or I say on here a lot, like if you're going to complain about something or the way something went down, you got to have an idea on how you would do it differently.
Correct.
And like, I want to complain about that, but I don't know how I would do it differently. After I thought about it some, I'm like, that's actually like the perfect way to end it.
All the complaints about, the storytelling, I'm like, well, they actually told the story how their rivalry goes.
Right.
Is they know each other too well. So you have to come up with something out of the trick bag to get a win.
Any thoughts on Becky's gear?
Well, both of them, they were Wanda and Agatha.
You know who I thought Charlotte was supposed to be? I got the Wanda thing, like immediately, but I thought Charlotte was supposed to be like old school Britney Spears, or no, yeah. I thought she had like her face had like a Britney look to me, and then obviously like later on, I was like, oh no, that's what she's supposed to look like, Agatha, and I thought both their gear was really good.
No, it's a good idea.
Becky's a little more revealing. We're not used to really seeing a side like that of Becky.
No. But yeah, like that's, because that particular match I had, gone, during the intro and everything, I had gone out to pick up a pizza and I came back and, they're in the ring and I'm like, whoa, wait, what, what's she wearing? So
I didn't hate it.
This is the Becky Lynch match, right?
I did not hate it. Trying to think of some other stuff that happened. It feels like forever ago, but I mean, it's only Tuesday.
I'm about to say it was only a couple days ago. Yeah.
Bianca Belair is a sole survivor in the women's Survivor Series match. I thought everybody looked good in that match. I thought Toni Storm looked good. I thought Shayna, Shotzi, they're teasing something with Sasha Banks and Shotzi there.
Yes. No, they keep going at it. Yep.
Liv Morgan looked good. Like Rhea Ripley, always, she's always impressive. The Battle Royal, I thought that was really good. And eventually, you're watching it, and eventually you're like, all right, almost has to win this. There's no other way.
Yeah. Well, going back to the women's Survivor Series match, I didn't think I thought the crowd was not being very fair with them, which I liked how Becky had something to say about that on Monday Night Raw.
But I missed that completely.
Yeah, they were horrible. They were horrible.
I don't know how I missed that.
But she said something about it. Like, she kind of called them out on it.
Yeah.
And on Raw. So that I was like, okay, like, she was sticking up for her locker room. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the Battle Royal, it does look like they are like, almost like you said, like he looked as dominant at, he's getting way comfortable now. Like I like the maturation I'm seeing out of him. Like, this is definitely not like those big 7-footers that we saw before that just could not handle doing this, but he's looking very much into his role. And then I liked how Ricochet is starting to get some, like, he's starting to get some love here.
Dude, Ricochet was over AF at SmackDown Friday night. I know he did some like crazy moves and stuff, but the crowd was loving him.
Yeah.
And it was just
like what they call him.
It was just an observation that I had coming out of there where I was like, holy shit, like everybody, my kid loves him. And I just kind of like, I've kind of just been like, he's just there. And he was over as hell. Roman is over as hell too. Like everybody had the Bloodline shirts. When he came out, everybody's putting the one finger up.
Yep.
Even my kid is, straight. He loves the New Day and stuff, but he had his arm up for Roman, and I was like, what are you doing there?
Yeah, my daughter's still not with. She's still very upset at the heel turn.
Team Raw looked good. Or Team Raw versus SmackDown, that was a pretty good match.
Yep.
overall. Austin Theory, man, getting a little push. What'd you think of Vince McMahon's egg? What, like, that's actually so. While I'm going through this, I do have two small complaints about Survivor Series, and one of them is the stupid fucking egg, because we're turning this into a storyline, but it's really just promoting The Rock's movie.
Right. Because I saw Red, and I saw it the day before. I just happened to watch it the day before the Survivor Series.
I almost put it on the other day. Almost.
Yeah. No, it's actually it's a pretty good movie, actually, because Ryan Reynolds and The Rock, so and you can tell like some of this stuff. I just what I like about Ryan Reynolds is that you could tell sometimes he just kind of goes off script and you just have to go with him.
Yeah.
And The Rock is perfect for that, because he also he's used to doing promos. So so you're not going to be able to go off script with him. Like he's going to go right with you. So their scenes are very good.
I definitely want to watch it. Like I said, it almost happened. I almost put it on the other day, and then I was like, nah, I'm like zoning out here. Like I might fall asleep. I want to hold off, and I'll wait when I actually have like time to watch it. So I want to give it a fair watch. But the other thing that bothered me was, and again, splitting hairs here, but I need something to complain about. It was the Street Profits coming out with all the Pizza Hut stuff, and then throwing all the Pizza Hut into the crowd. What are we doing here? I understand
fitting commercials into the
and I'm all for making money,
right?
But the Street Profits don't need that. They don't need that.
They don't. And then started throwing pizza into the crowd, and
it was just what are we doing here? This is awful.
That pizza's cold.
Yeah.
It
doesn't mean it's bad, though. It does not mean it's bad.
So, because I've won a pizza, there's I've been to basketball games where the loudest crap, piece of the cheerleaders came out with pizza, and the loudest people got the pizza, and so I won that before, and the pizza was cold.
Yeah.
By the time it got to us, so I know that they were throwing out cold pizza.
Yeah, absolutely.
That their hands went into the box and
touching it all. And just...
So all I would do with that is take a picture with it and post it. If I caught one of those, and that's the new day. I'm not putting that. Yeah, I'm not putting that in my mouth.
It's like the new day's pancakes. Nobody's actually eating those.
No.
Although I'm sure there is some people. But yeah, nothing really else for me from Survivor.
Seth Rollins guy on Monday.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, I wasn't even going to get into that. Just guys, stay in your fucking seats.
Yes, please.
Anything else to add about Survivor Series?
Just in the main of we touched on it. The main event was that was a damn good match.
Damn good match. Biggie is so good.
You're hating if you didn't like that match. I don't know what Dave gave it, but I'm pretty sure he gave it 2.5 stars or something like that, and I don't care. But they had a great match.
It really was good. I think maybe Phil brought this up. But has Dave ever given a great rating to a WWE show or
to
WWE
the whole show
match?
The only match I can remember is is Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan, whatever the pay-per-view is after the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
He actually gave them a really high score, and I think that is the only one I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, I can't think of any, but that's just me. I don't have a great memory, as we know. So, DJ, we have to get into the very unfortunate for you part of
unfortunate for me
of the predictions. Now, I let Mike and Kenny pick as well against me.
Okay.
And so we had a little bit of a gauntlet here with the Survivor Series picks. Now, you automatically start off with one wrong because you forgot a match. You forgot the Damian Priest and Shinsuke match. You never sent over. Now, full disclosure, fans, DJ did send his picks, but he forgot to pick that. And when we picked, the Battle Royal wasn't announced yet.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't pick the battle royal. DJ picked the battle royal. Still got it wrong. He picked Ricochet or somebody else. I forget who.
I think I went Ricochet and somebody else that got a limit. It wasn't almost so.
Yeah,
but I was close. I was like, oh look, he's still in.
Yeah. So I counted. You got 3 right. 3 right. Kenny got 2 right. Me and Mike also got 3 right. And so it's a push, and I win again.
I was about to say, dang, pushes. You did the Ric Flair like rolling out of the ring, beat up, carrying the title.
Ran the gauntlet on you, motherfuckers. It's still the champ. Still the champ. I did not lose. I did not get pinned. I did not lose. So
and I would have picked Damian Priest, by the way. So still would. Yeah.
So you would have lost. Yeah, you would have lost. So yeah, that's it for the predictions. Thanks for Mike and Kenny making theirs as well. And just like that, we're done with In the Ring already. We're gonna take a quick break here. I know it's early, but we want to run through these questions. So we are gonna give you guys a little word from our sponsors. All right, thank you guys for listening to those, and we are back. And again, different lineup for the show today, just because it is Thanksgiving week. There's obviously we both have a lot going on with friends and family for the holiday, so we're actually recording on a late Tuesday night. And we said, you know what? Instead of running through wrestling, all the wrestling stuff and all the toy stuff, let's just do a Q&A. I did put weekly purchases on our sheet, DJ. Let's do the weekly purchases before we get into the Q&A. You got anything this week?
I didn't get nothing anyway. So
all right, that was easy. My list is very short, and I only have one of the items with me. I have got the Zodiac from DJ. So, by the way, this is Walk That Toy Aisle. Sort of. It's an abbreviated version of Walk That Toy Aisle again. It's totally different show here tonight. But yeah, I got the Zodiac. Dude, the Zodiac. I don't know how you passed on this figure. I know it's a terrible era of WCW, but like just with how toyetic he is and stuff, like I am so glad that they made this figure. Phil and somebody else just recently asked me for like my list of favorite, like best figures of 2021, and that's going on my list, man. That's going on the list. That and the Warlord throwback figure, those are like 2 of the best figures, I think, like just toyetic wise and stuff like that. They just look phenomenal. I also got a Run-In Podcast zip up hoodie. That is downstairs. It's not up here, unfortunately. Right. And then the other thing I got was from Mike Lanham. Mike Lanham got the hookup with the Playmates Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles party wagon.
The wagon.
He got that for me and a buddy, and I got those this past week. I did not open it yet though, because there is a Christmas present for for my buddy, for my kid in the box. So I have not opened the box yet. I gotta wait till he is at school, and I've just been slacking on that. And that's it for me for weekly purchases. You ready to answer some of these questions, DJ? We got a lot here. Some of them I think we've answered before, but we'll do it again. So everybody who asked the question, we're gonna put
a bunch of new listeners too. So we
do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So everybody who asked the question, we put into wheelofnames.com. And if you ask more than one question, you know what? We put you in there more than once. So there's a couple of people who asked 2 questions. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. Throw them in there. We are going to do this. We'll give away. We got a Penta autographed 8x10 from Barrios Toys. We'll give that away to one of these winners who asked us a question, and we'll do that in a little bit. But first, let's start off with Jonathan Barnett. He says, was there ever a time you felt like leaving collecting? And if so, what figure brought you back into it? DJ, I'm going to let you start with this one.
Yeah, they're definitely, I think just the superstar line, like the wrestlers right before Mattel, like those
classic superstars.
Classics, yeah. It was just so many. I just started getting bored with it, really. And so I just kind of left it alone for a while. And the figure that brought me back and then and I did some McFarlane like in between, like the
Yep.
McFarlane sports picks. Then I was kind of, then I was like, all right, these are, they're starting to get repetitive with who they're put, it's with each series on McFarlane. It's like, how many LeBron Jameses can you put out?
Right.
So the defining moment Sting.
Okay.
For Mattel.
That's a very good one for you to get sucked back in.
Yeah. I was like, well, maybe let me take another look at this Mattel stuff. And then that's where it all started all over again.
Nice. For me, I collected. So yeah, I was just at I lived with roommates out of college and stuff like that, and I was like, we'd go to Toys R Us board or whatever, just check stuff out.
Right.
And I saw the classic Superstars line, and I was like, oh man, they got like an Ultimate Warrior action figure. Like, think about back to like 2003, 2004, 2005. Like, that was really the time where you're walking into a KB or a Toys R Us and like you're seeing like a Hulk Hogan action figure that isn't a Hasbro or Ultimate Warrior, or all the guys that they did in that classic Superstars line, Ravishing Rick Rude, like guys that I fucking loved, and I started buying them up. I was like, oh shit, and I had a buddy who was into the McFarlanes. I was into the McFarlanes as well. Had a ton of the hockey ones, a bunch of. It was funny, hockey, because that's like my sport. I bought every single one I could find, and then even guys I hated, and then baseball, basketball, and football, I would just buy guys that were on my teams. And me and my buddy we drove up to Canada once to just see like what their Toys R Us had. Like, it was literally like a 4 or 5 hour drive into Sherbrooke, Quebec, Canada. And I remember finding a Demolition 2-pack there for the classic Superstars, and I was just so pumped. And then I got married, and it was like, all right, we need to buy a house. We need to do this. All right, let's unload some of these. So I sold a bunch. I actually held on to a few. Held on to like the NWO, Hollywood Hogan, an Ultimate Warrior I held on to for a while. There was like 3 or 4 that I held on to. And then I think I've told this story on the pod before where, we were with my son and brought him to Toys R Us. And I was just like, I saw the Mr. Perfect WrestleMania Heritage Basic. And I looked at my wife, I go, I think I might get back into these. And she's like, you know what? You should. And you work hard for your money. You should spend a little money on yourself. You do a lot for me and the kid. You should spend some extra money on yourself. And then voila, it turned into what's behind me. And I think she regrets telling me go for it, because now it is what it is behind me. So that's how I got in and out. And now it's just like, now I just have too much shit. And between all the different toy lines, and it's just, it started with wrestling and McFarlane and just went there. So thanks, Jonathan, for that question. Johnny JB, he's a friend of the show. He's a loyal listener. What is your favorite piece in your collection and why? I think I've answered this before. But for me, it's the jersey over my shoulder. The Ric Flair number 4 Springfield Thunderbirds jersey. I told that story before. I'll tell it again real quick. Ric Flair did a meet and greet at a minor league hockey game here in Springfield, Mass, and was there with some buddies and stuff. Did the meet and greet. This is where Ric Flair, tried to use a paint pen and it exploded. That I've talked about, and I ended up winning that jersey in a raffle. I didn't even know. My wife was like more excited than I was, because I was drinking and not paying attention to what was actually going on. So I had to go pick it up. And then my wife bought me a frame for it a couple of years ago. I got it framed. And that's like a one-of-one thing that like cannot be replaced.
Right.
So that's probably my most favorite piece. Like, nobody else has that. So I think he is the only actual one that he has the away version, I believe. He's the only other one with a version of that jersey. So that's it for me. How about you, DJ?
It is the what Mike Lanham was going to take if I were murdered. The yellow Intercontinental title. It is signed by Sting from when I saw him at Access. And the picture, he's got it over his shoulder.
That's a cool piece. For me, like, if I'm getting a belt sign, it's got to be like a belt that they held. I love that you had Sting sign that, though. Like, I think that's a cool piece, because it means if you guys go to runinpod.com and click on announcements or blogs, you can read DJ's whole story about WrestleMania. And like after reading that story, reading like what you wrote about meeting Sting and stuff, and then you have like seeing that in the background every time you're at home. I just think that's a really cool piece for you, man.
Yep.
It's everybody's got their own thing, you know. One of my buddies, I lost a shit ton of weight, and I had a Rodney Harrison jersey,
Nice.
Patriots jersey that I gave him, and he met Teddy Bruschi shortly after I gave it to him, and he had Teddy Bruschi sign it, and I was like, "What's wrong with you, man? Why would you have Teddy Bruschi sign a Rodney Harrison jersey?" And he's like, "Dude, it's what I had." He's like, "Now I have this story," and I'm like, "You know what? You're right." And it's, you know, everybody has their little niches here for collecting. And I love it. I love hearing, you know, why you have certain things and stuff like that.
And there's no doubt, like if he like spent any time in WWE, he would have won that title at some point. So
yep.
Probably the same color. Like
yep. Johnny JB, this is another one that I think we've answered here, but we'll do it again. Do you have a specific time frame when you collect wrestling figures? For example, I collect guys from 1987 to 2002. To be honest with you, my time frame is right around the same. I had like Rocky Johnson. I had like some other guy like Bruno Sammartino, like guys who I actually never saw wrestle. And I was like, why do I have these guys? Like, they don't really have any meaning to me, sentimental. Like, I just bought them because, you know, maybe my time frame was like 1984 to 2002 or whatever. And there are some exceptions on mine for like past 2002. Like I've talked about, I have the John Cena Ultimate Edition when he came back at the Royal Rumble. I think that was like 2009. What else do I have? I have an Eddie Guerrero, the Eddie Guerrero Legends. I have the Randy Orton fan takeover, just because like that, it's like Evolution Randy Orton,
right?
Because he was part with Ric Flair there. I think that's past 2002. So like I made a few exceptions for a couple of older guys. I have a Beth Phoenix, just because she's a legend. Like I felt like I needed her. I needed Cena. I need a Brock Lesnar, actually. I need a good Brock Lesnar, like 2002 Brock Lesnar, like in the trunks. Hopefully we'll get another one. But how about you, DJ?
It's definitely some type of emotional attachment, rather, even if it's a heel or babyface. Like it had to be like some character that I just enjoyed every time they'd come on. I enjoy watching them. So it's all about the characters for me.
Nice.
So it's not really, you know, it could be in any year, you know, especially like, you know, like you said you had, like I had the Wrestling Gold. Like, you know, I think I had every volume of it. And so I did see matches that took place before I was born, you know, so I got to see those wrestlers and go, okay, I do that, you know, even though he's a little bit older in present day when I was a kid, but I see that he was good, you know, so you know, so you know, like I purchased your your Rocky Johnson. He's on my shelf of my he's on my rock shelf, you know. So, so yeah, no, it's all about the characters for me.
I love hearing, like I said a minute ago, like I love hearing everybody's different, you know, different reasons why they have something. It's cool. I like it. Phil Gentile, friend of the show, he says, one toy line you wish you collected from the beginning. This one I'm still like kind of thinking about, so I'm gonna let you go first, DJ.
There was a couple came to mind. The Legends line from the beginning. I wish I you know, because now like especially like Series 1 is, you know, what each one of those are you're not like they're 3 figures, like, you know, for the price. They're 3 figures a piece, right? No matter like everybody in Series 1. And that's like my favorite version of the Legion of Doom, you know, is in that series. I just got you know, from buy sell trade, I had to make payment plan to get the Texas Tornado. So so, you know, so the Legends line is definitely, I wish I would have caught that from the beginning. And you know, let's see. And that's pretty much like that was because pretty much everything else I've been able to catch up with.
Yeah, there's been for me, it's part I've definitely like been like, fuck, man, I wish I got into this Star Wars Black series from the beginning. But then there's also been like, I wish I did the Star Wars vintage cards instead. Yeah, it's just been I mean, you guys have listened to this show enough to know, like, I'm kind of all over the place with some stuff. I wish, though, I'm with you 100%. Where I wish I started with the Legends line. Like, I wish I was back into it before when that Legend lines hit, because there is so many, like you said, man, the purple shirt Macho Man, you know, the Legion of Doom, Texas Tornado. For a long time, that was like the only Eddie Guerrero. There's just so many good figures from back then. And like my buddy tells me, who's been, you know, with it from the beginning, he's like, dude, I was walking through a Kmart and those were on clearance for $10. And like just hearing that and being like, oh God, dude, like, you kidding me? Like, it's just, it makes me wish I was in from the beginning, but here I am. I'm here.
Yeah.
And I'm doing all right. So, besides that, though, I don't think there's another line where I'm like, man, I wish I started this way earlier. I would say the Star Wars Black Series is one, and then this, and then obviously the wrestling, the Legends. I wish I got way in from the beginning. So,
right.
Good question. Good question. John James says, "Why did you cause the Miz to lose Dancing with the Stars, Tommy?" This is a really good one. The next two are really good. Really got us.
Wait, I like how you didn't even like give that an answer.
I wanted to acknowledge him. I wanted to acknowledge John James, right, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to read the question.
Like Tommy didn't give Ian Shumpert his rhythm.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of genetic. It's basically what it came down to.
And I've got no rhythm. We'll do these next two, and then we'll give away the Penta 8x10. So all Mike right. Lanham says for Tom, eliminate one: NHL, NFL, NBA, or I'm sorry, NHL, NFL, MLB. For DJ, eliminate one: NBA, NFL, MLB. Now eliminate a second. I've been thinking about this fucking question all damn day. Because here's my thought process.
Question.
It is a very, very evil question. Here's my thought process. Like, there's different times to be watching these, and that's also like, now there's different elements to this question as well, because like an NHL game is better than going to an NFL game. Like if you're going in person,
correct.
NFL is fun for tailgating and stuff. Right. But experience-wise, it's not that great. You definitely see more on TV and stuff like that. NHL, I feel like, is the opposite, where it's better live. It's better live than it is on TV. So let's just say overall. So like your favorite sport altogether, like not necessarily going to a game or whatever, just overall. The first one I can eliminate very easily. I love baseball. But MLB, there's too many games. The game can be so slow sometimes. I've literally bought tickets to a Red Sox game and regretted going just because it's a boring ass game sometimes.
Man.
I love baseball. It's easily, growing up, I played hockey and I played baseball, and I love, and that's what my kid plays. And I love it. And but baseball can be so slow and so boring sometimes. That baseball is definitely my first one out. Okay. That's how we'll do it. I'll go first one out. You go your first one out.
I'm going to have to say the same. I've been to many a Dodger game growing up. I just went to that marathon of the game with the Giants and Dodgers in the regular season. If anyone remember, it went I think 11 innings. And I basically prompted my daughter and I to leave when I saw in one inning the Dodgers were batting and they didn't sub in for the pitcher.
Oh,
I was like, they've run out of players. That automatically, like, they've run out of players. They're gonna lose this game. Let's go. So but that it was a marathon of a game though. Like it was almost midnight by the time this was coming around.
Yep.
like I said, love the game. But it can be very like compared to everything else. It's a very just like when they say a pastime, that's what this game is. It's a pastime. You're there to just kind of pass. I think they meant for this game to be something to sit and watch while you're passing the time.
Yeah, I definitely need the season to be shorter. Like 162 games is way, way too much.
Man,
way too much. Number 2 for me is going to be. This is a tough one.
Yeah, I'm like, I kind of want to see what's going to happen.
Number 2 is NFL. I have to get rid of the NFL. Oh, it's just that's hard to say though, because like the NFL games mean so much because there's only 16 or 17 of them,
right?
And like I literally will find myself on a Sunday if we don't have anything going on. I'm sitting on my couch watching football the whole time.
Right.
I don't do that with hockey, but I've played hockey my whole life. My kid plays hockey. Literally on a weekend, I'm in a hockey rink probably longer than I am anywhere else. So that is it's very tough. But when I look at the sport overall, I got to pick hockey. I got to get rid of the NFL. No, I can't. Fuck. Damn it, Mike. Damn it.
Yeah,
it's a tough one.
It's an evil question.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my answer. I'm gonna say because of my upbringing and my kid and everything else, I'm gonna keep the NHL and I'm gonna get rid of the NFL. Also, like think about how good of athletes these NHL players are and how good they're doing everything at high speed on skates. So I'm gonna put that in my pocket, and I'm not happy about my decision, but that's what I'm going with. I'm going with NHL as my number 1.
Which is what I think Mike. Yeah, this is what Mike was going for with this to make us suffer throughout this question. I'm gonna have to as well get rid of the NFL.
Wow, I was not expecting that from you.
Well, because you have to for me, basketball, especially in my family, basketball is a religion. We grew up down the street from the Forum.
Mm-hmm.
My sister got hit on by Magic Johnson.
Oh boy.
my mom could have she can come on and have a coherent conversation about basketball right now, so that's how it I coached I played basketball, I coached basketball, so did my dad. It was just just probably like you with hockey. It was a thing, my brother, my oldest brother, he played in Germany. He played professional in Germany.
Oh shit, nice.
His high school team won the national championship. So yeah, we we love basketball. So nice. We like you said, football is such a great Sunday afternoon. And the fact that the game, each game, every game means something.
Yeah.
I
love football.
This is but a hard just question. For the question. Yeah, just for the question. Just for the question, I have to say I have to go NFL would be the second cut.
Yeah, super hard question, Mike. You're a real dick for for asking that question. I hate. All right.
Watch him win the 8x10.
Yeah. Next question, and then we'll give away that 8x10. This comes from Juan Esbel Lozano. This blew my fucking mind. And again, I'm still thinking about it. If you could be any Tetris piece, what piece would you be and why? Actually, I've got my answer. I've always been the little square, the 2x2 square.
Okay.
My whole life, I've been a 2x2 square. If I could change my life, I would be the 1x4 tall, lanky piece. I would be tall and skinny.
Just the lowercase L thing.
Yeah, just a straight line. Just a straight line. If I could pick. How about you?
I would be the capital T.
Okay. How come?
Just like I feel like, like I'm just asked to, wear different hats in my life, and and help everybody. And I feel like that piece does that. Like you put the, especially when it's one of the first few pieces, and you turn it on the T on the turn the T upside down and put it down, and then now you got a spot to put, like, you got a spot to put things on.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like. I feel like I can, and it's kind of a different shape too. Like I'm like I keep my individuality, and I get to help. So
yeah.
that's what I like about that piece.
I really like that question. That was a great question.
Yes.
It really made me think. I thought long and hard about it because there's so many good Tetris pieces, and they're all useful. They all need to be.
They can do something with all of them.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's give away this 8x10. DJ's got it. If you win, slide into our DMs, and you have to claim it. We're not helping here. You guys, if we're giving away something here, you have to claim it. So we'll pull up here the wheel of names. We'll shuffle this a couple times. DJ, you can see it, right?
Yep, I can see it.
All right, we're shuffling. We're just gonna hit it, and first person it lands on is gonna get the Penta 8x10. Here it goes. It's spinning. Who is it gonna be? It is the big bearded villain. On Facebook or Twitter. I believe he's won something from us before.
I'm about to say, I think I've heard that name.
Yeah, big bearded villain. Nice job, man. His question is coming up a little bit later on in the show, but we wanted to get
You've been looking at hockey pads or something?
Oh yeah, you see that ad? Yeah, I'm in the market for a new chest protector. So and
Klarna, like Klarna and
yeah. Oh, that's the Klarna plugin, so that I can use Klarna whenever I want.
Oh, okay, got it.
So and just like that, I will stop sharing my screen. The things you see, guys, if you watch the YouTube versions of our shows. All right, moving right along here. Let's move on to Javier Diaz. Yeah, Javier Diaz, who is about to have a baby, another baby, his second child. Congratulations, right. Javier. DJ, we gave our opinion on this last week, but I kept this question in here because we wanted to get yours. What's your take on the new Spider-Man No Way Home trailer? Do you think we'll see Toby and Andrew playing their versions of Spider-Man?
I think from the trailer, I think it is 100%. You had the Doc Ock from one of the other movies say, "Hey, you're not Peter Parker," So I think that pretty much cemented it right there. But I do like that they did not I don't want to see them until I watch the movie. Like I don't need to see them. I want to let me be surprised.
That's what Kenny was saying, and then I started talking about some of the bad guys that you see in the trailer. And
we saw Jamie, we saw Jamie Foxx as Electro, and so
Sinister 7, baby.
Yeah,
Sinister 6. I mean, Sinister 6.
So hey, I don't mind seeing the villains, but I don't want to see the Spider-Man until we're in the theater.
I cannot wait. I was just I talked about this on the show last week, where I'm like scrambling to figure out when I'm going to go see it. Still haven't seen Ghostbusters yet. I think that's going to happen this weekend, though.
I think that's going to be this weekend for me as well.
All right. Next question is from Jeffrey Guyette. He's got a couple of them here for us. Big fan of the show. How would you book a match between your current favorite wrestler and your all-time favorite wrestler? You can pick the time, any era of wrestler, who would win, and how. Mine's easy, man. I got to say my favorite current guy on the roster right now, man, this is tough because there's like three guys that I want to say are my favorite guys right now. Okay. It's Big E, Roman, and Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens. So there's four. I have four favorite guys. Let me pick. I think who would have the best match with Ric Flair? It would probably be Seth Rollins. So I'm going to go Seth Rollins, Ric Flair. They do an Iron Man match. It ends in a 60-minute draw. And then Flair wins in some dirty way. They have a banger of a match, but Flair wins in some dirty way.
Well, just to tempt you a little bit, like remember Flair used to like some of his best matches are against like the big muscle guys.
True.
Like I mean, I saw some really good matches with just him and Hawk, for example, of the Legion of Doom, and they were great great singles matches.
Yeah, but I think with Rollins, you'd get like Flair Steamboat style stuff, Flair Sting style stuff. Like, I think it would be that good. True. And I think Flair just gets like a roll up and a hand full of the tights or brass knucks out of the trunks or something like that to get the win.
I don't know how that guy used to hide all that stuff in his gear.
Oldest ride, longest line, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what. So my current favorite people are so almost we almost have the same folks. So I have Big E, Roman, Sammy Guevara is my other guy.
Oh man, I didn't even consider AEW guys.
Yeah.
Whoops.
So man, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Because I don't like, so I'm gonna take this question and I'm gonna make it just a fantasy lineup I would like to see like out of this question. It would be Sammy Guevara versus Macho Man.
Oh,
and Macho Man in like the purple shirt with the 3 stars on the trunk, Macho Man.
Yep.
I think that would be a hell of a match.
I have to agree. With you. That's one of the things about these Q&As.
You can put that match in any era you want to, like, because Macho Man was kind of like that. Macho Man, especially, was I think ahead of his time. He could wrestle at the pace that they're wrestling at right now.
Yeah, oh, for sure. And that's one of the great things about these Q&A episodes to me is that like I will have an answer ready to go for some of these, and then we start talking about it, and I'm like, oh no, I got to change my answer.
Right. That's exactly.
But all right, Jeffrey Guyette, we're gonna do another one here from him. Who would win in a fight? The main character in your favorite TV show or the main character in your favorite movie? So I have to change my thought process here because for me, one of my favorite movies is Jaws.
Okay.
Obviously the shark is gonna win.
Right.
But so I'm gonna go Back to the Future.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go. So main character, obviously Marty McFly.
Mm-hmm. Or Doc, like that.
Or Doc, yeah. But I think Marty McFly is probably
acceptable answer too.
better fit here. And then my favorite TV show is, Seinfeld is my favorite TV show.
Okay.
So we're getting Jerry Seinfeld versus Marty McFly.
That would probably be a hell of a fight, actually.
I don't know who wins that.
I don't know either, because Jerry could get mad. Like there's some times that Jerry could lose his temper, and it seems like he can put him up. When
he's defending his girl's honor.
Right. Call him a chicken.
Yeah. Damn, who wins that?
I don't know.
My other favorite show is Breaking Bad, so I was thinking about that, but I'm like, Walter White always wins,
right?
And he likes to remind you of that. So
yeah,
imagine Walter White versus Doc, though. That would be pretty good.
I'd actually pay to see that.
I'll take Walter White versus Doc Brown. Walter White gets the win. He drugs.
Well, see, that's close to my so my second place would be Doc Brown versus Rick Sanchez, because that would one of my favorite shows, one of my favorite movies, and I think most people would pay to see that. As for my favorite show and favorite movie, well, it's kind of a no contest. Like I think Dexter kicks Forrest Gump's ass. Like I don't see how I don't see that going any other way.
Yeah, I don't think I've never seen Dexter, but I can, from what I know about Dexter, yeah, Dexter wins that hands down. Hands down. Not even close. Next question is from Alan Day. There's some fun freaking questions.
Yes.
What's one Grail piece collectible that you worry you will never be able to justify the price tag it carries to be able to add it to your collection? That is a really good question. For me, it is probably like something like ring worn by Ric Flair, like a pair of boots,
Right.
A robe. Obviously, having a robe like would be amazing. You see Conrad with like these titles that he has that are like straight, the real deal.
Right.
But like as far as like figures go, like I actually went on eBay the other day just because we talked a few weeks back about that Greg the Hammer Valentine prototype. And I went and I just said, you know what? I'm going to type in Ric Flair prototypes and just see what comes up. And nothing came up. So like if I could get a Ric Flair like prototype Galoob, or Hasbro, or even like a Remco or something, like that would probably be something for me. But it probably way out of my price range, or way more than I would ever want to spend on a action figure.
What Hasbros do you have left? Like what's left for you?
All the expensive ones. That's pretty much it, actually. I got to go through my checklist, and my plan is with my Hasbros, during school vacation week, my kid wants to go to this place called It, and it's basically like a there's zip lining, there's like you climb on all this stuff. Wicked fun. We've been there before, but there's an IKEA right next to it, and I want to get an IKEA shelf just for my my Hasbros and my retros.
Okay.
And then while I'm putting that together and everything, I'm going to go through and figure out which ones I actually like need, or I need to upgrade, because there is a few that need to upgrade. But I think all I have is like the expensive ones. So we'll see how that goes. Like I've really slowed down with the Hasbros and just kind of grabbed them as I see deals.
But now you got into the point where there ain't going to be no deals on the ones that are missing.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to buy Ludwig Borgo with one finger or something.
Right. Like, okay, so so I would say for figures, because like you said, like, of course, ring worn stuff and all that will you're gonna be up there. But I'm like, so far what I've seen of trying to get a Joker Sting on card. It's always 3 figures. Every time, like every time I find it anyway. So that's kind of a hard one. I've buy sell trade has probably talked to me a few times about getting the Legion of Doom from him. That's so and it's been hard for me to pull that trigger as well. Working in the profession that I work in. What else? Those are the 3 figures that I can think of off the top of my head that would, because other stuff seems to be pretty reasonable. But for whatever reason, those 3 figures though, people will. Oh, and the Rimco, the 3-pack of the Legion of Doom and Paul Ellering.
I almost pulled the trigger on on-card Ric Flair Remco a couple years ago. Zombie Sailor was selling it maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I should have bought it, because I like just the value just goes up and up.
Correct.
And up. So like you wanted 300, I believe, for
that Remco.
Yeah, for the 2-pack with Larry Zbyszko. Holy shit! There's one on eBay right now. Oh, it's a variant. I was gonna say there's one on eBay right now for $2,000.
Yikes!
300 on eBay. Oh, there's a Ric Flair Galoo. Oh, it's a Spanish version. I was gonna say there's a Galoob on card right now for
but I remember that.
So
I remember all of the Remcos as a kid, and I remember that match, the grudge match for that one.
I have no emotional tie to Remcos. I bought the Ric Flair one just because I love Ric Flair
to have it.
That's his first figure. So, next question is from Sebastian Cologne. He says, as the year closes, what were your favorite wrestling figures of the year? You can go first on this one, DJ.
I'm definitely like one that sticks out for me is the second Darby Allin, the TNT title and the paintwork that even like they didn't just do the face on that one. They did like half his body, like the one where he has half his body with like a tree.
Yep.
And the white background on his body, and that TNT title looks pretty good with it as well. That one popped. That one is like pops in my head for first.
Yep. For me, I got a handful of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Ultimate Edition Hogan, the Hollywood Hogan one, not
that's a good one,
not the WrestleMania one. The Ultimate Edition Flair, because that's like the best Flair figure of 2000 and or best Flair figure ever, I should say. And then Warlord and Zodiac. I had talked about them earlier. I think they nailed them. Those are probably.
You really like that Zodiac?
I really do. Well, I mean, toyetic wise, like. Yeah. You walk by this in the store and you're just like, holy shit, they nailed this. Like it just the scan is perfect. The paint is perfect. His tassels and everything. Like he just looks great. I'm trying to think of
Penta as well.
Yeah, those, I was going to say those, Lucha Brothers figures. The one that other company did too, not the AEW ones, but the, Phil just got them and I cannot think of the name of the company that made them. Those look really good too. So
yeah, red and black.
Yeah, I cannot think of the name of the company that made them, but I don't have any AEW figures yet. I'm holding out for the Brody Lee when that gets released, or the Jericho his like Luminary series, like where it's his retro like the Lion Tamer.
Oh, right.
I forgot like his name, but like when he was wrestling in Mexico,
Lionheart.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna be all over that one, I think. So,
that's in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and honestly, like I don't love him now, but I've always been a really big fan of Chris Jericho. So I've kind of soured on him over the last few years, but we got a couple left here. 2 Padres pods, which I was on a couple weeks ago. Dos Padres pod. They are strictly on YouTube. Look them up, and I believe they're strictly on YouTube. But look them up. I was on a couple weeks ago talking fantasy football and stuff. Ham on Thanksgiving, yay or nay? What do you say, DJ?
I'm a nay.
I'm eat whatever you want on Thanksgiving. I'm really, as I get older in my life here, I'm really trying to hate less on things.
Well, I thought this was like, do you eat? I guess that's the way I took the question, because I feel the same. Like you should eat your plate, put what you want on your plate. I'm with you on that. I thought
in that case,
like, do you eat it?
Yeah, get that ham out of here. Ham is for Easter.
Okay.
I mean, if it's there though, I'm not going to turn it down.
Got it.
Especially my sister-in-law makes some banging ham. And we usually eat it on Christmas Eve, but I'm not a ham hater. If would I rather have ham? What's funny is like everybody goes nuts for turkey on Thanksgiving, but when do you besides on a turkey club sandwich, when else throughout the year do you eat turkey?
Just ground.
Yeah, you don't ground turkey.
That's
turkey
it. That's
club. That's it.
With the whatever meal I make with ground, because I don't use ground beef when I make stuff. So so that's it. But as for like actual like sliced like turkey like that, it's maybe twice a year, right?
Right. It's crazy.
And I'm loving the if you guys have not tried it, you should. The deep fried Cajun turkey
from Popeyes.
Well, I mean, they're not the only ones that do it, but like you can have somebody, there are people that'll do it for you, or if you have a deep fryer at your house.
I saw the injection thing. Actually, I'm like in a few different like groups for the smokers and the like the meat smokers and stuff. And they talk all about that stuff. I haven't done that yet.
That turkey is That's it. Like that is you won't go back after you try that turkey.
If you guys don't believe DJ, go watch this video on YouTube and fast forward to that part. His eyes closed while he was talking about that. That's how good it is. He was in another dimension talking about how good that turkey is. We're doing a fried turkey and a smoked turkey this year. Yes. I'm looking forward to that. We're not hosting this year either. Thank God. Figure Kingdom. If you guys are not following Figure Kingdom, you are missing out. He says, are you run down or exhausted after shooting or recording your podcast? Details, please. We're going to have two very different answers here.
Yes, we are.
Because we're on two different coasts. So for me, when we were recording on Thursdays, I would go host trivia till about 8 o'clock Eastern time. I would rush home. I would fire up the computer and tell DJ, hey, I'm ready to go around 9:30. And it would end up being 10 o'clock before we actually started. And then I would do all the editing right after there. Right after that, I would go to bed around 1 a.m. So yes, I was beat. And then I wouldn't be able to fall right to sleep. Mm-hmm. Now that we're recording on Wednesdays, it's a little bit better. I have less going on Wednesdays. I bring my son to hockey. And then we get home, we, chill for a little bit. And then me and DJ jump up on here and do our thing. And then I just edit it on Thursday mornings while I'm, quote unquote, working from home, my real job. So it's a lot easier now. Tonight, I'm hopefully going to pass out. Like I said, I played a hockey game. Usually I have a hard time coming down after a hockey game anyway, and I can't fall asleep anyway. So I was like, oh, this will be perfect. But now that it's 12:30, I'm like, I'm ready for bed. So it depends on,
be all right.
It depends on the night, but a lot of times when we're done, I can't fall right to sleep, but I need to go into bed, at least play on my phone, put something on TV, and doze off eventually afterwards. Right. How about you?
So West Coast time here. So cut all those times almost in half. So take away 3 on all those. I'm usually, well, like you said, like there's a little adrenaline, and that's probably why Figure Kingdom is asking this question, is because they're probably asking about the adrenaline after you're done doing this. And I'm just fortunate enough to where I'm able to burn that off. Like I can either fire up the PlayStation or, lately I'll even go I'll go have a workout, whatever I need to do. But it's not midnight here, when we're done. So, but there's definitely, you have there's a rush after after you do these.
Plus, like now that we're doing like YouTube videos and stuff, like you have this bright light in your face the whole time, and
yes,
like I need to not come down from that, but like just like decompress that whole thing, and just I kind of think about like what we did, what we could have done differently, and stuff like that. So yeah, there is a little bit of a come down. Like I said, if we ended the show right now 12:30, I probably wouldn't be able to fall asleep for another hour. So with that, we have 2 questions left.
Okay.
Virtual Suplex. He is Virtual Suplex on Instagram and Twitter. He says, which 2 top wrestlers you think can swap spots from AEW and WWE and fit right into their new environment seamlessly? A couple guys from WWE have already done that with, Daniel Bryan comes right to mind. He's sliding right in. Seems like a great fit for AEW. What are your thoughts on this one, DJ?
I'm definitely, like, the first wrestler that comes to mind for me is MJF. I think he would step right into a WWE ring, and he can do exactly what he's doing, and it would just go seamlessly with what they do. On the other side of that, and I don't want to see him go, but I would have to say Kevin Owens in AEW. I think it would, he wouldn't have to change a thing, and I think it would, he'd go right along with their show as well.
And we might see that happen.
Oh, Jesus. Hopefully they're just kind of working us.
I hope not. I hope they are working us. I mean, I hope I hope he doesn't go.
Right.
I have to agree with you on Owens. I already said Daniel Bryan, he seems like he could go back and forth a couple times and be fine.
Right.
Yeah, I have to agree with you with Kevin Owens. I'm also thinking like kind of going to the NXT roster here. I think Johnny Gargano would be okay going back and forth.
Okay.
Or going, from one to the other. And then I'll give you one more. I will say I don't think he's gonna do it, but I would say Kofi because I think he's just like super likable. So like nobody'd be giving him a hard time in the back. People know that he can kick ass and take names.
Right.
So yeah, I have to go Kofi and agree with you on the others, and I'll put Johnny Gargano in there, Johnny Wrestling, if you will.
Johnny Wrestling.
If you will. All right, guys. Last question is from our winner of the Penta 8x10. Make sure you slide into those DMs and shoot us your address. It is a big bearded villain. What is the most expensive action figure you have in your collection? Also wants to throw in that he loves the show. We love you.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, sir.
If you need a minute, I know what one mine is right off the top of my head.
No, I know as well.
All right. Go for it then. You go first.
All right. It's easily my Hot Toys Nick Fury action figure is easily the most expensive figure I have.
That's right. You and the Hot Toys. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and see, and I didn't buy that figure from Hot Toys. I bought I discovered that Hot Toys even had a website later into my so after I got Nick Fury was the first one I got, and then Black Widow was the second.
Okay.
And then I figured out, they have a website that I don't have to buy these like full price from secondhand here. I can go right from the source. That Nick Fury, you'll never it's one of those you'll never see it again. It comes with the case with the Tesseract.
Oh.
So it's kind of a very they only made so many of them. And that is easily it easily surpasses the price I paid for the other figures.
All right. Mine, I'm gonna go. I mean, we talked about the Texas Tornado figure. We've talked about the Road Warriors. Even the regular Legion of Doom is just so expensive.
Yes.
For me though, I bought the Harley race that nobody can find, the Elite Harley race. I bought it in a Facebook group for $15. Figure Collections Enthusiasts Facebook group. I bought it for $15 a day after this kid bought it because he had buyer's regret. He's like, I don't really want this. And little did we know that figure would be worth a ton of money because for some reason they all are in a warehouse somewhere. They've all disappeared. So I paid $15 for the Harley race Elite. It's loose, but it compared to what I paid for it,
right.
And what it's going for on eBay. I know the price has dropped a little bit because they found them in Canada has found them, but they don't have a ton of them because they're still being listed for ridiculous amounts of money on eBay right now. $350 is one for mint on card. $250 for one that's open.
Wow.
$520 for one of them. That's not gonna happen. Oh, that's Canada money. And then there's not a lot of other ones on there. So $250 in the box. Yeah, it's crazy. So that's probably mine. The other ones are probably the Hasbros. And then I have the 12-inch Talking Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. Those probably fetch. I got a good deal on both of them, but they'd probably catch a couple bucks too. So
yes.
And that is it, guys, for the Q&A.
Q&A.
Yeah, congratulations to the big bearded villain. He grabs the Penta 8 autographed 8x10. That is from Barrios Toys. Thanks to them for donating that. And the you know what I think he won actually is the signed Muscle Men by Juventud Guerrero.
So he he came up with the whole shebang from
lot
Barrios.
from Barrios. Yeah. So all right, guys, we're going to do a quick abbreviated version here of Falls Count Anywhere. It's really just going to be our football picks, but whatever. Yeah, that's right. Falls Count Anywhere is a part of the show where we usually talk about whatever we want. We do a top 5 every week. We'll do, we'll talk about what we're watching this week. Actually, this week we'll talk about what we're watching, and we'll give our football picks. It's crazy. If you're paying attention on Instagram, our picks are all over the place. Me and DJ both came up with goose eggs last week and dropped in our standings. I actually think I need to start posting the standings as well because we're getting here so close to the end of the season. It's week 11.
I'm about to say we're going to be fighting here at the top.
Yeah, this week's game is Cleveland and Baltimore. Who you got, DJ?
Ooh, because is Jackson still going to be out, or do we know?
Yeah, that's a good question. Although his backup played pretty good.
No, he did very well. Kind of came down to the end there, and they came up short. Cleveland is such a mixed bag. You don't know what team is going to. You don't know what Cleveland team is going to show up because it's like because they can be good. Like when they have their stuff together, that offense is actually pretty good. But then there's times Baker is out there, and I feel like he's in. He's doing a commercial or something.
Yep.
But I think I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I think that defense, they still, the defense is still good. Is this at Cleveland or?
It is at Baltimore.
Or is it home game?
It's at Baltimore.
At Baltimore. So they're gonna have the crowd and the defense, and I think if Jackson, even like you said, even if Jackson doesn't play, you have that quarterback now. He's got a game in his back pocket that he's played well. So I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
I'm gonna go Ravens too. I can't in my right mind pick Cleveland to win, sadly. So I'm gonna pick the Ravens, make Phil happy. And then we'll wrap up here with what we're watching. DJ, what you watching this week?
So Animaniacs came back. So
that's
season
awesome.
2 on Hulu. If you're not seeing the new this is the new Animaniacs, the new seasons, I should say, where up to date jokes and everything. I'm also watching the new Dexter has also come back. Dexter, the New Blood. So I've been watching that, and the writing is still there, folks. I know if you haven't been watching it, if you're a Dexter fan, you're like, how the hell are they going to have them come back? And how's this going to work? And the writing team knows what they're doing here. I'll just say that they draw you right back in. You watch that first episode, you're right back in. You're right back waiting to see what happens next week. So come on and watch Dex with me.
Nice. I'm still watching that Tom Brady special in the arena.
Sure. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm a little jerking off to it. No, I'm just kidding. And then I actually watched another episode of that Untold that's on Netflix.
Yes, Untold is dope.
So if you actually, speaking of, if you watch the hockey one about Danbury Trashers,
yes,
Danbury Trashers were in that building at SmackDown Friday night. And they actually had a crossover shirt, a mashup shirt with the Trashers logo and the SmackDown logo on it.
Nice.
My kid wanted it. He's like, I want that shirt. And I'm like, no, dude, you never watched that show. Like, you don't know what that's all about. Like, you can't get that. And it's $35 and they don't have your size. Get out of my face.
$75?
No, $35.
I'm about to say.
Still $35. Right. I thought that was cool. But I watched one about 2 tennis players, Andy Roddick, and I forgot the name of the other guy. Okay. But it's definitely worth watching. It is pretty good and inspiring. And, we talk sometimes about mental health on here, and it has some stuff to do with that. So it is very good to watch. I apologize. I don't remember exactly what the subtitle of it was. It's in that Untold series, and it's 2 tennis guys.
I'm about to say it's tennis. So you can't, you won't miss it. You won't miss it.
Yeah. Yep.
I did like the point shaving one too. That was good.
Which one?
The point shaving. The guy in basketball.
I did not watch that one yet. I might have to jump into that one. I watched the Malice in the Palace. I watched the hockey one, obviously, and then I just watched this tennis one. So I'm gonna have to maybe dive into that one as well. So the Tom Brady thing is good. Love him or hate him, man. It's good. So And I'm not just saying that.
Eventually I'll watch it. Eventually I will watch it.
I'm not just saying that because I'm in love with him. I'm saying that because I mean it.
No, I believe you.
All right, guys, we are going to wrap things up here officially with our show. Again, abbreviated version here of the show for Thanksgiving week. Let's go through our rundown, our shout outs. We got the Fig Cave podcast. Phil doing good things over there, so make sure you check that out. Figure collections. We didn't mention them this episode, but definitely hit up Homage. They will have, I'm sure, a killer Black Friday sale, as will Buy, Sell, Trade Toys. I'm sure Barrio's Toys will have some badass Black Friday deals. Kenny helped us out last week. Make sure you're hitting up his show at The Call Up. Faces and Heels podcast, Those Padres podcast, WrestleGeddon podcast. They've got a store up at ProWrestlingTees.com. Make sure you buy a shirt from them.
Yeah.
As does Coming Down the Aisle and Turnbuckle Tavern. Make sure you grab shirts from them as well. Dirty Heels podcast, Buy, Sell, Trade Toys. I think I already mentioned him, but he'll have something going on Black Friday, as will Keystone Collectibles and Heroes Hideout. All our codes for them are up at runinpod.com. YouTube is youtube.com/the Run-In Podcast. Pro Wrestling Tees, grab a shirt. It's Black Friday week. ProWrestlingTees.com/runinpod. You guys can follow us on Twitter at Run-In Podcast. Instagram is at the Run-In Pod.
Yes. So before I give you my monikers here, like I just want to say, do not drink and drive, folks. Like I know this is holiday season. I know what happens. Don't do it. Just don't. Just your buddy will let you sleep there if you had too many. Okay, that's right. Like don't or call it Uber or whatever. No,
or if it's me, your mom will let you stay there.
Exactly. So that's on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Fignight27, FIGKNIGHT 27.
All right. And we're on Twitch too, twitch.tv/the Run-In Podcast. Haven't used that in a while. Thanksgiving, it is here. As DJ said, do not drink and drive. Enjoy your holiday. Thank you guys for listening. I know me and DJ are very thankful for all our listeners that we have here at the Run-In Pod. Help us out. Buy a t-shirt over at ProWrestlingTees.com/runinpod. And if you could, write us a review, subscribe, all that stuff that you're supposed to do to help out your podcast. Subscribe over at YouTube. We could always use more YouTube subscribers. It's youtube.com/runinpod. Again, pause the podcast, double check that you're subscribed, and then come back. Right. And then
look at our mugs, and
that's right. And then go pause it and write a review, and then come back and listen to me say, "My name is Tommy Paradise,
and it's your boy DJ live from LA."
And this has been another edition, episode number 75 of the Run-In Podcast. Happy Thanksgiving, you filthy animals! All right.